I think I'm going to make 7 times from here in the next 10 years.
Billionaire investor Ron Barron believes that Tesla stock will 7x in the next 10 years. Let's dive into this video. Ron Barron is actually someone who I listened to very closely before first buying Tesla stock in 2019, early 2019, and then I watched my Tesla stock go down 50%, and then we know what happened after that. So let's dive in.
I'm guessing that the person you've bet on the earliest and maybe made the most money on is Elon Musk. Is that the case?
We have made a lot of money with him. And right now we have an investment in Tesla, which is about $4 billion. $1 billion is me, $3 billion for clients.
Ron's investment strategy is to find people that he really likes and then trusts and who he believes are extremely talented, and then find ways to do business with such people. Find a way to invest in them somehow, which is another reason why Ron invested in Twitter. And I wish I could invest in Twitter. I would want a piece of that. Elon Musk today, in an interview with Ron Barron, he said that Twitter could become the most valuable company out of all financial institutions out there. I wish I could have a piece of that. And if your investing strategy is to bet on people, who else are you going to invest with other than Elon Musk? Elon Musk is a clear #1 choice for that.
I didn't want people to think I was crazy. To hear the stock went up, actually did 4 or 5 years, it stayed stable, and then it went up 20 times, just like I said it would.
Even to this day, many people still think investing in Tesla stock is crazy. And if you do not want to stand out too much, you probably should not invest in Tesla stock. But man, I look at the returns of the last, 5 or so years, and then I look at what I think is going to happen to Tesla stock before the end of 2030, and I see a 10x. Now, that 10x includes robotaxis. Ron Barron's 7x does not include robotaxis. It does not include Tesla Energy. It does not include any of the battery storage facilities that Tesla would be able to make money from. It's basically only the core automotive business, assuming that Tesla delivers 20 million vehicles in a year. That is extremely bullish. And yet, I believe it will happen. Not financial advice, of course.
Everyone was criticizing me. They criticized me for not buying, for buying it initially. Then they criticized me at the end for not selling it. So you shouldn't buy it, and then if you own it, you made all that money, now you should sell it. They didn't tell me to buy it.
That is why many people, when they invest in stocks, actually end up losing money because they look at the stock price and it's up, so they're buying more, and it's down and they're now selling. It can be emotional if you invest in individual stocks. And if you buy an index, you just keep buying, and it's simple. If you find a really good stock, you do the exact same thing. Whenever I have spare cash, I just take that cash, put it in Tesla stock, and then don't worry what the stock price is at that time. I believed Tesla stock was great when it was pre-split at $1,000 per share. So after the split, over $330. So if I believed it was great then, and now the fundamentals have gotten better. The deliveries are increasing, production is increasing, innovation is still going. We are closer to solving full self-driving than ever. You look at the last update and it's better than all the previous versions. Now I go to Hallmark's YouTube channel where Omar uploads full self-driving videos, and I am having a hard time finding really bad drives. A year ago, that was so easy. It's clear progress. So, and now you're telling me that the stock is cheaper than before? This makes no sense. Almost like when I look at the views of this channel, it's about 10,000 per day and it's only 3,000 subscribers. That also doesn't make that much sense. So, point is, you should subscribe.
So So I sold it for them, and then we owned.
You sold some to make sure that it wasn't too much of your funds at some point,
Yeah,
because it had grown so rapidly. It became.
Yes, it became. Well, it's still in Barron Partners Fund. It's 40% of the fund, and now it's 40%. And in Barron Focused Growth Fund, it's 20%, 22%. So nobody has funds like that.
40% in just one single stock in a portfolio is thought to be extremely risky traditionally. But in my stock portfolio, Tesla stock is 100%. And that is because I believe there's less than 1% chance that by the end of 2030, I will lose money if I don't sell my Tesla stock. And of course, I believe it will go up. So let's get into the math of how would that work.
I think I'm going to make 7 times from here in the next 10 years. I make 1.5 or 2 times in the next 3 years. So I think in 2025, I think it'll be 500 or 600. It's now 228. And then I think that by in 10 years, 8 or 10 years, we ought to be somewhere around $4.5 trillion. Elon says now it's a $700 billion market cap. Elon says he thinks it's going to be bigger than Apple and Saudi Aramco together.
You believe that?
Yes.
Notice how quickly Ron says yes when he's asked, do you believe that? He says yes immediately. You can just sense that Ron has extremely high conviction in Tesla stock going up significantly. Just watch that clip if you didn't notice, and you'll see. It's so obvious to me.
So I think that it's sort of hard to believe, right?
Yeah.
But in 2030, if he does just simple math, if he does 20 million cars a year, there's 100 million cars a year that are being sold right now. If he does 20 million cars a year then, and they're $50,000 a car, that's $1 trillion of revenues. And he has operating profits of somewhere around 30%. That means $300 billion. If you say it's worth 15 times, that's $4.5 trillion. It's now $700 billion. That's how you get those numbers. But that's not including robots. That's not including autonomous vehicles. That's not including batteries. That's not including robots. He thinks robots are going to be bigger than cars. So there's so many things that are happening in Tesla. One of the remarkable things, how do you keep track of this? I can't keep track of as an analyst. You run these companies. How do you do that?
I think Elon Musk does that by being a genius, which of course helps. But the most important part here is that Ron does not include robotaxis in these calculations. So 7x from here without robotaxis, and I believe full self-driving is definitely going to be solved. Elon Musk said it's 100%. He didn't give a specific timeline by which he would say it's 100%, but he said it will be solved, and I believe him. And that's why I believe Tesla stock will at least 10x. I think because of full self-driving, Tesla will reach a $10 trillion market cap. So that's 3,300 roughly per share for Tesla's stock price. And of course, Ron is not just some lunatic thinking that some obscure stock is going to 10x basically. Ron is a billionaire. He is respected. So these are 48 reasons why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. My name is Matt Postis, reporting to you from Vancouver City in Canada. I'll see you later tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching.